I have fallen in love at first sight hundreds of times. And that's just in the past 2 years I've been here at the beach. It would mean the world to me. I'm so lonely, but not desperate. My name's Harry. I feel like I want to find a woman to grow old with because I'm growing old. I was brought up with this ideal of coming home and having a woman bring you a tray with some snacks and a cocktail. It would be really nice to feel cared for, and so I guess a woman who's a little old-fashioned. Reformed womanizer here, reporting for duty, rather ready to adore you and make you feel like the princess that you are. I have a deal breaker. I don't like women who cheat. Yeah, I used to go to a summer camp when I was a kid. Summer camps are their own little slice of heaven. And when we're at summer camp, we go skinny dipping. Not everybody, but you get to find out if you like being naked or not. And I like being naked.
Welcome back to the B Team, the Thursday edition, a Thunderdome Thursday. It's so good to have the VHS dates back. Master producer Cade Bickham fired that one up for us. I sent it to him not too long ago. That was Harry, everybody. So
Reformed womanizer, and he likes to be naked.
He does, apparently. He has, you forget, he's fallen in love hundreds of times.
In the last
couple of years, he's been at the beach.
Richard Zane, Ryan Brauninger, Cade Bickham producing the show today. Got about an hour worth of content here for you as you make your way home in the, I guess, penultimate day of the work week. Going to talk a lot of SEC baseball. We still haven't talked any Aggie baseball at all on this show, and that's what Richard and I cover most of our time here. You know, Richard spends probably more time right now at the ballpark than I do, considering my responsibilities at home. And also, so VHS dates are back here on Thursdays on the B Team Thunderdome Thursdays. And we've also got our bit. And today we are all going to be tasting a little bit of formula.
Miss my mouth.
There is no human milk in here. This is only formula. My wife was not a big fan of this bit because you guys don't know this. Formula is expensive. Real expensive.
I would have no idea. There's no way I would have known that.
I
don't even know why I would have thought about that.
On just some of my scrolls, I was firing through, and just, you know, the phones are always listening to us. And so now all of my Instagram reels, as I scroll through them, are baby related, right? And
sure.
The first probably 7 or 8 days that we brought our son home, everything that he did, I was Googling, is it normal if my baby does XYZ? So in turn, all of my algorithm is baby centric. And one of the scrolls came up and it was a comedian talking about people that just can't stay in their own lane and mind their business. And he was at the grocery store and he was going through the formula aisle and he could not remember, or he couldn't find the formula that his wife told him to get. And so he had to go get one of the workers at the store to come point out where the formula he was looking for, where it was at on the shelf. And he said, you know, I was kind of there for a little bit, and, you know, maybe I just drew a little bit of attention to myself because I was kind of pacing back and forth looking for this stuff. He said a woman came up to him and said, you know, you really ought to think about breastfeeding. And he goes, I just had one of those days. And I looked at this woman and I said, well, my wife died and I don't produce anything, so this is where I'm at. And he said, that is how I walked home with 6 cases of formula for free that day. He made that lady feel so bad that she bought him formula for free. It's the Rodney Carrington bit about them going to amusement parks. And, you know, he's a celebrity, and so they get to walk him to the front of the line, and he's got a big sash on, and the people get, you know, they've been standing in these lines for hours waiting to ride these rides, and we walk right up the front, and they ask, you know, why I get to go up there, and I got this sash on. And they said, what about them kids? And he says, well, they got cancer, B word. Eat your hush puppies and shut up. We have been, I guess, what do you call it? Aura farming via March Madness. Is that the proper use of that word, Cade?
I'm hoping Aura and the boys can come back. They're only down 5.
That's what I was trying to get. Was
okay. Yes. Then
Then I get the pun. Yes, that was good.
So we've been watching McNeese, Vanderbilt. I believe the Commodores are still up by 5 here with approaching the under 4 timeout.
I have it on. 4.5 to go.
Poor Sienna could not get a good bounce at the end
Sienna
of that game.
got lemon booty.
Could
I'm
not
gonna
get a
Google
good
that
bounce
term.
at the
You've
end of
said
that
lemon
game.
booty a couple times.
They got lemon booty. Lemon booty, for those of you that don't know,
Lemon
is whenever
booty.
you're an underdog
Meaning.
and you're trying to pull off a huge upset. Look, perfect example. South Carolina football at Texas A&M. They got out to a huge lead in the second half. South Carolina got lemon booty.
Shane Beamer got lemon booty.
He might have permanent lemon booty. Did you find anything?
A phenomenon that occurs when a person or group of people appear to show signs of loss of composure under heavy pressure or stress. See, Sienna might fit lemon booty because they came into today with absolutely no stress whatsoever, no pressure whatsoever. You're a 16 seed. You're facing the number 1 overall seed, the Duke Blue Devils. Everyone's picked Duke to win it all. They don't even think you're getting out of the first round, and then you get up 10, lead by double digits near the end of the half.
Well, they ran out of legs, and who can blame them?
I think instead of cracking under pressure, they just ran out of steam.
They played the same 5 guys. They didn't
Yeah,
make
what's
one
insane.
sub.
You're playing the same 5 for 40 minutes. It's gonna
Against Duke.
against Duke. Against Boozer was just bullying them at the end of the game. He was just getting hacked like no other down low. So
Cade, you have to differentiate which Boozer we're talking about because I noticed
Cameron Boozer.
and I
Caden
noticed
Boozer's
this.
their leading scorer.
But what I noticed on the broadcast is they'll just call Cameron. They'll call him Boozer, and they'll be like, "Oh, he passes to his brother." Well, they're both Boozer. You can't just be like Boozer. He passes to his brother. Well, was it Cameron to Caden, or was it the other way around?
Caden's chopped liver.
Apparently.
So you see a lot of stuff on your social media scrolls today. People calling this the best 2 days of the sports calendar. For a lot of people, I would completely understand why. My issue with that is my personal issue. I know like it's a lot of fun to have live sporting events on throughout the entire day. Richard knows that I'm a sicko and love live sporting events late at night.
You're
I
real
watched.
sicko.
Listen, we talked about it yesterday, Kate. Last night I was up late with the baby watching UConn baseball at Santa Clara. They went across the country. UConn's got a first baseman who's 6'8", 275.
6'8",
He's a
275.
Goliath. Yes, and he hits in the middle of their order. He's enormous.
They should put him on the mound and turn him into Randy Johnson.
He's bigger than Randy. Like he's not as tall, but like
He's
this
thicker.
guy, he's 285 pounds. He looks like a left tackle. It's so sick.
It's like Zion Williamson.
Yes. Yeah, I guess Zion is be about that big, right? I sent that to Richard last night. He's like, "You're a sicko." But this is that's why I enjoy live sporting events throughout the entire day. Even though I'm not in a position where I can sit down and just binge watch, sit on the couch, have the quad box up, and watch all these games. I wish I had, like, if you're in Vegas or if you're in Lake Charles or any of the casinos and the sports books, and
You're in the lobby of the TexAgs office.
is that where you really get your jollies off up there?
We were quad boxing. Yeah, it was fun. Like the best part about the NCAA tournament, the first 2 days of the tournament, is there's only 4 games on at a time. There are 4 channels going, and it is nonstop. So I have the correct 4 channels pulled up there, and beginning at 11:15, we've had college basketball on the entire time. Now, I'm not a huge college basketball fan, but I will watch every single game as much as I can. But I'm sitting in the lobby, I'm working, doing stuff. Sid was around for a while. She was sitting in the lobby working, doing stuff. Same with Kay. Cade came back this afternoon. It's just on in the background for the most part.
And that's cool. That is sick, but I think I would enjoy it more. For instance, I'm in a wedding in May, guy I played with. They're having the bachelor party this weekend, starting the day in Vegas. Obviously, with a new baby, I couldn't go. But I bet they're going to have a ball at the sports books the entire weekend where you're just like, that is what you're there to do, is watch all the games, throw some wagers around. I'm sure they'll get a little boozed up. Like that's what you're there to do, is to be a fan and bet on and put something on the line with these college basketball games. I bet that's the most fun.
I don't find betting fun at all. I'm not interested in that at all. I just like to sit there and watch the games. I don't need a rooting interest beyond my bracket.
Well, how's your bracket done?
Well, I had High Point today. I was excited about that. I did have USF pulling off the upset.
I did too, and I shouldn't have. I bought hype in some teams, and I don't know why.
But I only had USF going one round. So
I had Troy in the Sweet 16.
Here, we opened the week talking about we don't care about, and I know nobody cares about my bracket, your bracket. Nobody cares about your bracket. I made a deal with myself that regardless of how today goes or the next couple weeks go, I won't tweet about the bracket at all. My bracket, I'm not tweeting about it because I know nobody cares. But so far, I'm doing all right. My favorite thing of the day so far is that Ohio State lost the first game of the afternoon.
It's a good game.
It was a good game.
Entertaining.
Really close. Ohio State had a chance to win at the buzzer. Really dumb last possession. They had 4 seconds, and they took a timeout, and the only thing they drew up was a screen to get the ball to the inbounder in the backcourt, and then with 2 seconds left, he pulled up from the wrong side of the half-court line and didn't come close.
Yeah, it reminded
what are
me
the
of some
Buckeyes
offensive
doing?
sets that I've seen maybe in College Station in years past. But
Where's Maryland? That's the name of my bracket.
Where's Maryland?
Where's Maryland?
It is located in the northeast portion of the United States of America.
I talked to Chris Sakopian today. He knows where Maryland's at.
He is. He asked me. So there was a pitch and change, and he was on deck the other night, and I was sitting in the front row, and I was actually watching Maryland play Richmond. I watch Richmond a lot. Mikey Elko plays for Richmond. Coached Mikey for a long time, and Richmond doesn't have any lights on their field, so they play all day games. So
sick.
When I'm just around the house in the afternoon, a lot of times Richmond will be on. So I watched Richmond and Maryland for a few innings the other day. But I bought some bad hype in my bracket. Like Troy, I didn't read a lot. Like I just was a CBS Sports breakdown. Then, you just catch stuff as you're scrolling. And Troy and USF. And another one that I bought stock in that I'm not real sure about is UCF.
Central Florida? I don't even know.
And why would I pick USF against Louisville? Like Louisville is a brand.
I picked you. I saw that Mikael Brown Jr., Louisville's best player, was out for this game. After I picked USF to go a couple rounds, and so I was like, I felt real good about that after I saw that news, and then they just they didn't get it done today.
They made a game of it. They rallied. They were down by quite a bit, weren't they?
They were down.
Yeah, they were down by a
points
lot
in the second half and came back and made it a 2-possession game.
But Troy
got blasted.
29-point
that was
loss
bad
in
pick.
Nebraska.
I don't know why anybody took that.
Vanderbilt extended the lead.
Mine's a lot of chalk. I honestly have a lot of chalk in my bracket. Moving on after the second round, and I'm okay with that. The one fun thing about the bracket in March is a bunch of guys from my high school. There's like 115 of us in a bracket challenge right now, $25 buy-in. I've come close a couple years, but never truly won it. I would really like to win this year because I've got some expenses.
You got some upcoming expenses, so you
Cars
do
in the
like to
shop
gamble
right now. That's it. That's the only thing I do. It's the only thing I do. I won't go sit at a table. I won't play slots. I won't do anything. I find no fun in going to a casino or anything like that. I will not do any real sports gambling. Though I'm okay losing my $25 every year.
Okay, I mean that's
it. All I'm losing is $25.
Yeah, I just feel like you need to. If you win, it might get you like your first hit of the drug. I'm not a big gambler. I have won on slot machines of all things. I've won 3 or 4 times. The last time that I really went gambling, we went to Vegas, I guess. I did okay in Vegas. I won like $600 on a penny slot machine, but I have hit in Lake Charles. I guess it was a jackpot.
Yeah.
On a penny slot machine, I won like $2,800 on a penny slot. When you hit for a jackpot on a slot machine, the machine goes nuts in like a celebration thing, and then as soon as it does its animation that tells you you've won the jackpot and you see how much you've won, the screen goes blue, and then writing appears in gold that says, "Please do not move. A casino officer will be with you shortly." So that you can't even print your jackpot ticket until they come over, they check your ID, all this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. It's wild. I don't know, like, how are people scamming these? How would you scam the slot machine? And why does it matter if I have my ID on? Like,
I think that it's the ID that probably matters because the casino doesn't want to have to pay out unless they have to.
Oh, for sure.
So they're just trying to make sure you're of age.
Yeah, but like, why wouldn't I just give you the ticket and I'd go cash it? Like let's say
because they don't want people playing at all.
Well, you have to give them your ID when you enter.
Sure.
Like to get onto the casino floor, you have to get your ID. You have to give them your ID. I don't understand why I didn't spit out a ticket to me when what if I'd have fallen one rung below jackpot? Instead of winning $2,800 out of won $2,500. It would have spit out a ticket. Then I could have taken it to the cashier and just cashed it out. But that was a whole ordeal. I just think I don't like losing money. I'm like you in that way. But when you do hit, it's pretty sick.
So if I were to hit and win my bracket challenge here, I still don't know if that's going to outweigh my one real casino experience. And I was 18. We were on a cruise at Thanksgiving. And my dad plays blackjack, so he likes to go to Vegas. When we go up to Detroit, you can gamble in the state of Michigan. He likes to go sit at the tables and play. So I went and sat down with him. He gave me $200, and I had no idea what I was doing. I'd never played on my phone, like any of these apps or anything. Gone like that. I was so pissed. I haven't
playing
sat down.
blackjack?
I was playing blackjack with no idea what I was doing, and it was gone in 20 minutes.
You didn't know that the objective was to get to 21 or
no? Like I knew that, but I didn't know certain rules. And if the dealer has this number showing, but you have this, you don't need to do X, Y, and Z. I didn't know any of that, so it was gone very quickly.
So and then you didn't try anything else?
No, of course not. I lost $200, and I said, "F this." I'm 18 on a cruise ship. I'm going to go drink.
Whoa, look at you. Hey, really cool. All right, so we do need to take a sip of this. Okay, so I'll do the honor since it was my idea. This is baby formula, and this is, first of all, we need to drink this because it's only supposed to be left out for a certain amount of hours without being refrigerated before you got to toss it.
How long has it been out?
We're well within it. But if we go throughout the whole show, it'll be getting close.
Well, does it matter that I'm 29 and not,
No, it doesn't matter. I mean,
3 months?
It's stuff in here is what grown adults can process. But this is essentially bodybuilder formula because I had a NICU baby.
Oh, no, so it's bodybuilder formula because his dad is Ryan Brauninger and wants him to get yoked already.
No, I don't. I mean, I just want him to gain the proper amount of weight right now.
Gains.
We're going to try to get yoked. I was Googling. One of the things that I did Google was how soon can I give my baby creatine? And we got a while. Regardless, I've been told this tastes pretty good by a nurse who has tried it. But this is like the souped up version of the regular formula. It's got a little bit extra calories in it because, like I said, we had to get him back up to normal size. And now he's like right in the middle percentile in terms of body, but he's got like an 80th percentile head. Bevo Lottie got more head than he got body. But here we go.
I don't understand the reference.
You never seen Friday After Next?
No.
No. It's a classic.
McNeese is down 11 now, Brauny. I think it might be over.
That ain't bad. It's mixed with distilled water.
The dream might be dead.
Yeah, I'm sure. I actually picked McNeese in our bracket just because I'm a homer, but I did not like the matchup. Everybody that was texting me about it was like, can McNeese pull this off? I just thought Vanderbilt's guards, they were too deep, and their guards got to the basket. That was a bad matchup. Taste it. It's a little sweet.
I picked them based off of what they'd done last year, and because I didn't.
Last year they beat a Clemson team that stunk.
Because I didn't have too many upsets in my bracket, and for all the credit I got on my ball knowing skills on the high point graphic on TexAgs earlier, I'm losing points now because I had McNeese as my quote bracket buster. Very sad.
Take a sip of formula.
Very
see what
sad.
you think.
I mean, it's nothing.
Yeah, it's like a little sweet distilled water is all it is.
Yeah. I don't love it.
But it's not made for you.
It's like fine. Like I'm not going to sit here and have a full bottle.
Oh,
Cade chugging it.
This guy's going to make gains. It's not bad, right?
Cade shrug.
It's fine, right? So if you've ever had any trepidation about drinking your kid's formula or wondered what it tastes like, we just did it for you. And it's just okay.
That was Thunderdome Thursday.
That was Thunderdome Thursday. We're running low on bits. Actually, we have somebody that watches the show religiously, and we need to make this happen. But he wants us to do like a steak eating challenge and have steaks prepared a certain way. And he wants us to go out to what is the name of the meat processing facility at A&M?
Is it going to bother us?
Yeah.
Nobody's in the chat chiming in. It's very sad. Everyone must be watching basketball.
Rosenthal. Yeah. They want
I should have known that.
They want us to go out to the Rosenthal Center and maybe get some of their steak, how they cut their steaks differently. And they also do Texas Aggie brand beef jerky out there. So we're gonna up the Thunderdome Thursday bits. We're going to improve them. We were just kind of up against it with time, and my schedule's still kind of jacked up. And I'm the one responsible for producing the bits because it was my idea, and I'm not going to lay that on Richard or Cade when they've got other responsibilities. All right. So it looks like McNeese is going to fall.
They've already fallen.
Oh, yeah. 10-point loss to Vanderbilt. And the next round of games, a couple of them are at halftime. Arkansas up 18 at halftime and Michigan State up 20 at halftime. Arkansas over Hawaii. Michigan State over North Dakota State. Arkansas, a really popular pick for at least the Final Four.
I have them in mind,
if not further. What are our expectations?
I think Darius Acuffs might be the best guard in the entire tournament.
Cade would take him over number one overall.
Number one overall?
No, I think I'd probably take DeBonsa.
Oh, why?
Just size and skill set.
It's like a poor man's Giannis.
Cade knows ball. You
know
what I really know?
He's locked into the basketball scene.
What I need is the three wise men: Cade Bickham, Cooper Patterson, and of course Reese Nygren, and all of their ball knowledge. I need them to put their heads together and come up with what storylines I need to know for the NBA, including the draft and who they would take one overall.
I thought you didn't care.
I don't. That's why I'm using them NBA, to help me get caught up and seem like I'm not a complete moron all the time.
Our Top 5 Tuesday was top 5 things you don't care about, and the NBA made the list for all three of us.
Really?
Yeah.
All three? I guess that's fair enough.
I used to really watch the NBA growing up when the Rockets were really good, mid to late 90s. I loved
Hakeem.
The Rockets. Yeah, they won the back-to-back championships, but I loved the Rockets when they had those pinstripe jerseys. I love that logo.
The blue with the pinstripes,
the rocket that had a face on it.
Yes, and Charles Barkley was there, Kevin Willis, Stevie Franchise, Cuttino Mobley. Like, I like that era of the Rockets, and they were on every night in Southeast Texas. We'd always watch the Rockets during wintertime, and all of Houston sports now, just outside of the Texans, is hard to find on night to night. The Astros deal right now is disgusting.
A lot of TV deals are terrible.
I just haven't,
I would say I don't really care much about the regular season. I follow who's doing well, and I keep myself like in the know about what's happening. For example, the Rockets, they've lost 2 in a row to the Lakers. Luka put up 40 last night. LeBron had 30. I think he went 13 of 14 from the field.
I did see that.
I can't believe that guy's 41. He was dunking all over the place, too.
Yeah, without question, one of the biggest freak show athletes that's ever walked the planet.
Speaking of LeBron, I saw a reel earlier this week where it was a comparison of LeBron flopping on trying to get a charge call versus Bryce Harper taking 97 to the face and seeing who took longer to get up.
That's pretty good.
Spoiler alert, it was LeBron. By a lot. a lot.
By the way, Brauny, if you guys want some quick ball knowledge about the NBA draft, I think the consensus top 4 picks are going to be Cameron Boozer, DeBonsa, Darren Peterson, Acuff. I don't know about the order, but I think it'll be those 4.
And you're out. You're down on Boozer.
I think he's just okay. I think he's pretty good for a playmaker, like a pretty good playmaker for his size. But I don't think he's got a lot of. I don't know. He looked like he was having a little bit of trouble with the Siena big man today, and that kind of just things like that rub me the wrong way. Where it's like you're going up against you're on the 1 seed. You're going up against probably I mean, to be fair, that guy was pretty big, but not as physical of a team, and you're having some trouble. Like, you're getting fouled and you're going to the line, but you're having some trouble like getting the ball in the basket. That kind of irks me.
He turned the ball over on a few of those trips in the second half where I think just Siena having to play the way they did, and they were red hot in the first half and then went ice cold in the second half. Those kind of things they typically even out unless you're Penn State in the tournament against A&M. But I'm with you. Like, I didn't see anything from Boozer today that made me go, oh, yeah, he's like a no doubt can't miss prospect in college basketball. Now, I admittedly didn't watch the entire year, so he could have been that, and this has been an off day. But
I'm willing to bet it was an off day. Sleepy day.
The most interesting one is Darren Peterson.
Opponent.
And like, what is he, how much is he even going to play in the tournament? I was tempted to.
The Peterson ceiling is very high. The ceiling is very high because his shot making ability is pretty ridiculous.
Well, in the floor for at least Kansas, I'm not talking about his NBA future. I'm talking about Kansas. His ceiling is very, very high, and it helps Kansas' ceiling. But his floor is like in the basement because he just chooses not to play.
Yeah, I mean,
So
they could very well
didn't
lose
pick
to Cal.
Kansas.
They could very well lose to Cal Baptist if he decides to take himself out of the game. You know.
Yeah, I just couldn't, and I couldn't, in good conscience, take Cal Baptist over Kansas. Like that's a program play, right?
That's a
like
crazy pick.
that's a logo pick.
It's a crazy
Yeah.
pick.
It's a
And
logo
that's
pick.
a blue blood versus Cal Baptist.
Cal Baptist is like Houston Christian. Like they weren't even a Division I athletic department not that long ago. So what are our expectations for tonight? To me, I'm going to watch the game. I'm going to enjoy it. But whatever happens, I'm good with. Like, this team has surpassed all expectations. But if you listen to Luke Evangelist talk about St. Mary's, you think they're the 97 Bulls.
He's hedging. He does that all the time, right? You know, A&M won how many games this year in conference? 11? They won 11 games?
Yep.
At the beginning of each week, if you were to talk to Luke, he would have told you that there's no chance they're going to win that game that week.
But you can't.
He did that so many times this year.
But
And
after
then
the
as
game
the
and they
week
win,
would build in, he'd be like, well, maybe we got a chance. He gave them no chance to beat Auburn. They won. He gave them no chance to even be in the game against Tennessee. They needed double overtime. They fell to the Volunteers on the road in double OT. And then he gave them no chance to beat Alabama.
hey, Cade,
3-point game.
ball knower. I got Tennessee in my Final Four. Am I crazy?
Yes.
Yeah, I got him losing first round. but that's just because I don't like their offense at all.
I like Ament.
I like
lot.
Ament, but I don't like their offense.
Yep.
And Miami, Ohio they're gonna shoot it.
I'm just, I don't know anything when it comes to college basketball. I filled out my bracket in less than 45 seconds, and I was like, oh, I've got Tennessee and Arkansas in the Final Four. And I talked down Houston yesterday about I didn't think this Houston team could defend on like last year's, and guess who my national championship pick was?
Houston.
Yeah. Anyway, so any expectations for you tonight? Like this is all gravy to me.
Yeah, I think that's fine. You know, if A&M doesn't come out with a victory tonight against St. Mary's, I don't think it's the end of the world. I think Bucky McMillan and company with the ragtag roster put together late, they've shown you enough proof of concept to get you really excited moving forward once he gets his guys in and he has more time to recruit the transfer portal and all of that. I think that's really exciting. I think the style of play is going to give people fits, and that's where I'm at. I think the style tonight, especially against a team like St. Mary's that wants to slow things down and get things inside, I think, do you like to slow it down and get things inside? You're more of a speed it up kind of guy. Anyways,
Look how I'm built.
Yeah.
I'm built for comfort, not speed.
Nothing about this is comfortable.
You're the one that started it. Keep going.
Anyways, I think A&M's style could give St. Mary's fits.
The ball's got to go through the basket.
You're right. The ball's got to go through the hoop. And if you look at A&M's three-point shooting percentages over the last few months, it's regressed each and every month over month, and they're at a season worse in the month of March so far, even though they're 2-1 in this month, which is exciting. You're gonna need a nice night again from Rylan Griffin. He's been playing well. And if March is a month for guard play, he's going to need some help. So who steps up? Is it Pop? Pop has been playing well. Or is it going to be finally the return of Ruben Dominguez? For all of the slump and all of the struggle that he has had this year, especially in the back half of conference play, he still leads the team in three-pointers made. He still leads A&M in three-pointers made by like 17 or so. If he could make 5 tonight, That's a really good night, and I feel good about A&M winning by double digits if he does.
Whoa. They got
if he gets 15, if you get 15 points from Ruben Dominguez,
yeah, but they've got 2 7-2s. Like
okay, the 7-2, the 7-3, McKeever's not going to be defending Ruben Dominguez on the outside. No, it's Andrew McKeever.
Oh,
it's Andrew McKeever, not the other one. You.
Well, again, like I listen to our basketball analyst at TexAgs, and Luke Evangelist tells me that, you know, St. Mary's is basically the Nephilim. If any of you are familiar with the Bible and the race of giants that Goliath came from, he was like, A&M they can't beat tall teams. And I agree. Like, you watch them against Florida, and I was like, they got no shot against the length and athleticism of Florida. But I don't think St. Mary's is going to be able to run up and down like Florida can. So there is.
But the only way to make them run up and down is to make your shots. You got to make your shots.
You got to shoot over them, and they got to go down. And but they are going to be at such a disadvantage on the boards, man. Like,
but they're disadvantaged on the boards all the time. Rashawn Agee,
Missouri
they're
was
never
way
going to
bigger.
win they're never going to win the rebounding battle, but the tenacity of the 6'5" Rashawn Agee gives you a chance.
6'8".
No, he's
He is
listed
not
at
6'8".
6'8". We've talked about this.
I know, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Cade, we have given him the benefit of the doubt. Every time I write about the guy and I say 6'8" Rashawn Agee, somebody in the comments is always giving me crap for calling him 6'8". Do you know why that is, Cade? It's because his head coach in a press conference said without shoes he's 6'5.5".
I'm going through.
A good point.
Let's
In
see.
any case, I think that you talked about guard play, Richard. I think that a big piece of what could be successful tonight for A&M is Marcus Hill getting downhill and getting to the basket, because if he's getting to the basket and and they have to focus on him and stopping him and his drives, it leaves it creates some space on the outside for the shooters to actually get going.
We'll see how it goes. And, you know, like Brauny and I both said, and Kate, I think you're sitting in this same boat. And if you're an Aggie fan out there, I urge you to be in on it with us. It is gravy. It's an insane accomplishment that Bucky McMillan's got this team to the tournament in year one. It's only happened twice in program history. Him and Mark Turgeon took over a situation that was a lot better than what Bucky found when old preacher man and tire changer left for College Park. So Bucky McMillan, he's given you the proof of concept. This should be a celebration of what they've done this year, win or lose tonight, and however far they go in this NCAA tournament in 2026, just celebrate and appreciate these guys, because very rarely are you going to see a pieced together, a piecemealed roster have this kind of success.
St. Mary's enrollment. Hold on. That's the St. Mary's College in San Antonio. Let's see. I was doing because I saw a graphic today that they had. What's that? Hey team. Oh, well,
Nick E.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Southwood Valley. This program now again is presented by Southwood Valley Animal Hospital. How about that, Cade? We just were summoned and alerted to that fact. But I saw a graphic on Instagram a little bit earlier today where it just basically took all 64 teams and it was a bar graph by enrollment, and A&M was first, and I couldn't remember where St. Mary's fell, but St. Mary's College of California, you know where it's located?
Yeah, I know where St. Mary's College is located. It's up in the Bay Area.
Oh, you don't know you just know the general vicinity. It's in Moraga, California.
Yeah, I would have never known.
Total enrollment of 2,736 students.
Name a famous St. Mary's alum.
Bear Harrison.
Trisha Ford. Legend. St. Mary's Hall of Famer. Trisha Ford.
I went with Bear. I like Coach Ford too.
Got to talk to
So what
Bear
I say,
today too.
2,700 about students at St. Mary's, and then Texas A&M's enrollment for last academic year in 2025 that ended 78,321.
I know their arena seats 3,500, which is about the size of some lecture halls here in College Station.
So enjoy it tonight. Again, if you're going in with too high of an expectation, and just how can you be upset with anything that this team has done this year? They've just
there's no reason to be upset at all.
Massively overachieved. And so I'll be pulling for them, and I hope I think there'll be a fun story if they can get the ball to go through the net tonight. And then, you talk about the lead into a game probably against Houston, and it kind of gets the national narrative talking about buckyball, and it can only help him recruit going forward. And the overall profile of the program gets increased through the national media and the national narrative for an extra 48 hours, which I think would be so cool and so well deserved for the program.
I agree. I think it's a really cool opportunity for them. And they're just playing with house money.
Yep. All right. If you are a viewer of this program in the fall, that you'll know that on Thursdays we picked games, college football games, I should say, against the spread. What we're going to start doing this spring and into the summer is on Thursdays we are going to start picking SEC baseball series, and we will do that today. And we missed last week, so we'll have 9 weeks of this going forward. We missed the opening week last week, but we are going to pick some of these series, a couple of them starting tonight: Kentucky at Ole Miss and Oklahoma at LSU. I'm fascinated to see what happens in Baton Rouge, because I think Oklahoma is really good, and LSU, even though it's early in the year, they do have that back against the wall feel because of how loud the noise has gotten around that program so far, as they are 16-7 and have some really head-scratching losses on their resume. I tend to believe they'll be fine, but I do think that this LSU roster has more holes in it than the ones that we've seen in the past, at least athletically. But let's start a little bit. A&M and Georgia this weekend.
Man, it's a tough one.
It's tough because of the strengths of Georgia and the weaknesses of A&M. And you're going to get 90-plus degree temperatures. You're going to get a strong south wind. The ball's going to be jumping. A&M's a really good lineup that hits for power. There's not a lineup in the country that's hitting for more power than Georgia, and it's not close.
No.
A&M, I believe, is 6th in the country with 39 homers.
I know they are 3rd in the SEC.
Yeah, so I think they're 6th in the country. I could be wrong. Tied for 6th. But Georgia is number 1 and by head and shoulders above everybody else.
A nice 69 total home runs. They lead the country in slugging percentage as a club. Like 600.
So when you look at that and you factor in the weather at Bluebell Park this weekend, and what has the A&M pitching staff struggled to do? Generate swing and miss.
Yes.
Just if you are going to be living pitch to pitch with this baseball series this weekend, you better pop some antacid, man. This is not the weekend to be worried about giving up a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning or a 3-run homer in the 4th inning.
Going to be some long ball games.
You're going to be in a back and forth affair, assuming the Aggie offense continues to do what it's done. It's averaged 9 runs over its last 4 games. Been one of the more prolific units in the SEC. And it looks more like a Michael Early offense, right? Like they're taking at balls, they're swinging at strikes, they're getting on first base. Bear Harrison, his year right now is insane. His numbers, I think he's hitting 227. His batting average is 227, yet his on-base percentage is right at 500, and he's got an OPS of over 1,000, and he's hitting 227.
It's been impressive.
Bear Harrison's hitting 227. He's slugging 500, and he's on base is 507.
Well, you talked about, and this has come up a few times with you, Brauny, in which you've said that Boston Kellner celebrating that hit by pitch to walk off Incarnate Word earlier in the year, the run rule, right? The walk-off run rule, and how they celebrate that. That's just been Bear all year, in which he refuses to move. He's going to do whatever it takes. His words, not mine, when he spoke to the media earlier today. He's just going to do whatever it takes to help this ball club win, whether that's going to stand in there and take a hit by pitch, shoot a ball the other way, or become the best defensive catcher he possibly can be. He just wants to help the team win. I loved that mentality. I loved all the stuff he had to say. And if you haven't heard from Bear Harrison today, go check out the video, the press conference on TexAgs.com at 5 o'clock. Make sure you stay tuned into this.
I would also say that A&M, if you view last weekend's struggles on the mound as being they got scared out of the strike zone by the success Oklahoma had, if you think that was their issues, they got scared out of the zone, and so they started walking guys, what do you think is going to happen this weekend? You throw it in the zone this weekend, it's going to go over the fence some. That's just point blank, period. That's what Georgia does. Now,
I'm okay with that.
time out. I'm not done with my point here because you go through Georgia's schedule. Cade, can you pull this up for me? Because I believe that I'm correct here. Georgia, well, actually, answer this. How many times do you think they've played away from Foley Field in Athens this year?
Twice.
Cade? I was asking you to guess. Now you're looking it up. The answer is once.
Wow.
Yeah, it is once.
They won at Kennesaw State, which is like an hour and 15 minutes from their campus.
Isn't their field a launching pad too?
It is a launching pad. It's a real short porch and right.
Are they into that new ballpark yet, or are they still playing at that city park they were last year?
Kennesaw State?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
When that guy stuck out his tongue and Wes Johnson got ejected and had to make the long walk.
Yeah, like he's
bus.
walking back to the school bus, like a yellow dog school bus right outside the batting cages,
amazing.
the outdoor batting cages. So Georgia, typically, they have been much better at home swinging the bat than they are on the road.
They play in a crackerjack of a ballpark, Foley Field.
Well, it's left field's deep, but apparently the ball flies there more so than it does at Bluebell Park.
It's teeny tiny.
And so they have accrued these incredible offensive numbers playing once outside of their own ballpark. They played a pitching staff last weekend in Tennessee that's pretty good. They've been up and down, but Tennessee's pitching staff is pretty good. You know, they're without Frank Anderson now. And they played some really tight games. And they played
Tennessee
some low
held
scoring.
them to 4 runs twice.
Yeah. And I think they lost one of those and won one of those.
Yeah, and this is a team that leads the nation and leads the SEC in runs per game, runs scored per game.
Georgia. So what Georgia has done is when they've gotten these mid-majors in, they have feasted on them. You know, like A&M had a weekend against Oakland where it really the ball wasn't flying out of the ballpark. When Oakland went to play at Georgia, the ball was flying out of the ballpark. And credit to Georgia, they hit a bunch of them. But like that's kind of where they've made their hay and put together all these eye-opening stats. So one thing we don't know that has been a characteristic of the Georgia program under Wes Johnson is when they leave Athens, they don't slug the way they do at home. People want to talk about why that is. I'm not trying to insinuate anything. I'm just saying the numbers bear out that they do not swing the bat as well on the road as they do in their home ballpark. This will be their first foray really outside of Athens. And it's for sure their first trip outside of the state of Georgia. So does that play a factor? We'll see. I'm a little worried about the matchup for A&M when the Aggies are on defense. And if this was a team like Oklahoma, Oklahoma's a put the ball in play team, and A&M was right there. You know, they outscored Oklahoma in the series but lost it.
Yep.
Georgia's not really like a just put the ball in play team. They are hit it over your head team. If you're going to be a put the ball in play team against this A&M pitching staff, I like that because the defense has been so good.
Yeah.
They're fielding 984.
I can tell you in just a second. I have it pulled up. They are fielding 983.
983.
What do you think Georgia's fielding?
Oh, they play on turf.
Mm-hmm.
They should be over 980.
991.
Yeah.
That's real good. That's elite.
And Georgia, so Georgia's going to roll some big arms at A&M in terms of velocity, but it won't be anything different than what the Aggies saw last weekend. And I thought Oklahoma's pitching staff was really good. I think Oklahoma's good. That's why I'm fascinated with that series in Baton Rouge. Now, the Sooners go on the road in the midweek. They get shut out by Southeastern Louisiana. You know, I don't think that's indicative of what kind of team and program that they've got. But it'll be that Oklahoma pitching staff. Cam Johnson was awful against Texas A&M. He's returning to LSU where he started his career, and will get the ball tonight. And he's got to be better. He just flat out has to be better because as good and as deep as Oklahoma's staff is, their bullpen got a little bit taxed last weekend against the Aggies. And it's a credit to the A&M offense. They got on first base. They slugged. They hit in some awful conditions on Sunday. And they averaged 9 runs a game. And I think if you'd have told Michael Early and Cliff Pennington that you were going to go on the road to Norman and you were going to average 9 a game, they'd have ripped your hand off trying to take that deal.
I'd take that deal.
I'd take that deal.
Damn good deal.
So Aggies in Georgia, I don't like the matchup. I mean, we'll talk about it tomorrow morning on TexAgs Live. Can A&M outslug them? Sure they can. But I think the Aggies are going to have to get, first of all, how do you help a truncated bullpen? Your starters go deeper. So if they can get some more length out of Sadeo, Weston Moss was really good. I'm actually kind of bullish on Aiden Sims' start on Sunday because I don't think he'll be that bad again in terms of like spraying the baseball.
Just going to have to be more in the strike zone. I was trying to say this, is I don't love the matchup for A&M pitching against a team that slugs the way Georgia does, but I'm okay if they put the ball in play. Just don't beat yourself, because that's what got A&M in trouble, especially in the finale on Sunday, is they put too many guys on base, especially in the late innings.
Yeah, 10 free passes.
10 free passes on Sunday, but, Brauny, 6 of them in the last 2 innings.
Yeah. And you're going to be asking more of Clayton Freshcorn and Ethan Darden and Juan Vargas, and I bet we're going to see Hunter Vincent in some high leverage scenarios. And you just know what it is. Well, like with him, I think you have to keep trotting him out there because on a staff that doesn't have much swing and miss as it stands right now, he's got it. He's got the characteristic that you need, that you're looking for. He just may hit a couple of guys or throw it to the backstop every now and then. So I think they'll live kind of hitter to hitter with him. And if he's going good, he could be a huge factor because of how talented he is. But, I don't know that we're going to see any kind of new names. Maybe Nico Partita throws?
Maybe. I can, just to wrap it all up, I can live with A&M pitching getting hit around this weekend as long as they're not issuing free passes.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to see them exit the weekend 3-3 at SEC play. And
That'd be amazing.
You go on the road to Mizzou, I believe, next weekend, and you have...
Not going to be easy. I wrote this in my series preview. It's coming out tomorrow. Expect some sticky situations against Georgia.
Oh, for sure.
Even though Christian Maracna's not here. Gotcha. Bang.
All right. So
that's a deep cut for those of you that know ball.
All right. Let's go through these series. Kentucky at Ole Miss. Kentucky's playing really well.
Give me the Rebels. At Ole Miss, in Oxford, beer showers. Plus, I don't think I'm going to sit here and pick... what's his face?
Yeah, it's hard for me to sit and I would have to be pulling for Mingione and his crew. Ugh. But they've been playing well without Tyler Bell. They swept Alabama at home last weekend. It's so funny how we talked about it a little bit yesterday, just how fickle some of these fan bases are. Crimson Tide fans are ready to run Rob Vaughn out of town after he was one of the hottest names in the coaching market the last couple of cycles, but they haven't been able to get over the hump. They haven't won a regional. So there's a little bit of angst in Tuscaloosa, but Kentucky sweeps them to start SEC play, and I'll just ride with Ole Miss because it's more palatable for me. Even though Kentucky has an identity, I don't know that Ole Miss has one yet. They rallied late against Texas, but were then really uncompetitive the rest of the series. They won the opener and then got bludgeoned the final 2 games.
Hard to beat Dylan Volantis on Sunday though. I do like the Rebs to win that.
Judd Utermark's having a good year for Ole Miss.
Talking about Kentucky's style and identity, that's fine. Their style and identity is that of a little league club.
That's true, but they buy into it, and you know what you're going to get, and they are a unique team to play against. So you have to be ready for all the stuff that they're going to do.
Almost like playing a unique style of basketball, like
Oklahoma
buckyball or something.
Yeah,
without the gimmicks.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say.
I'm not talking about Mingione style compared to Bucky style. I'm just talking about the uniqueness of it. It's hard to prepare for, and maybe that gives the Aggies an edge tonight. I'm trying to talk myself into it. I'm also trying to talk Luke into it, if he hasn't talked himself into it already.
He's got to be pacing right now.
He's not listening.
Oklahoma at LSU. We talked about this in a little bit. Look, LSU's offense has been real hit and miss. I don't think they've seen a staff as good as Oklahoma's. In fact, I know they haven't. They swept through that weekend in Jacksonville where I think they played Notre Dame, Indiana. I forget who all they played. But then they get walked off by Vandy in game 1. They get beat up by Vandy in game 2, and they do respond in game 3. But I just think I watched Oklahoma last weekend, and Cade, you're a baseball guy. Like I was impressed by the Sooners. I think they're pretty good. They're old. They make a bunch of contact. They got a really deep bullpen full of high octane arms.
Yeah, that was a good squad, and I also don't think that they're going to issue as many free passes as they did last weekend either. I think they'll probably settle down a little bit.
That's another thing LSU struggled with. Nate Yeske had that one year at A&M where They set the school record for walks in 2023, and they have been walking a bunch of guys this year at LSU, and really talented weekend rotation, but they have not thrown it over the plate enough. And their offense has been so inconsistent that the pitching has felt like they've got to carry the load a lot, and they've just not been able to do it. And they really struggled last weekend at Vanderbilt. So I like Oklahoma.
I also was really impressed with the Sooner offense last week. Just the top of that lineup.
They're so athletic
insane,
too,
right? And you start with Gamble, and then you move right into Camden Johnson, and then Brenton Brock is a real player.
Willits,
whether he's catching or playing right field,
Willits
was great. Deaton LaChance is big. They talk about what he does in batting practice all the time on their broadcast.
He's got big power. He hadn't gotten into it yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in the game yet. I think they could give you problems. However, I could talk myself into picking Oklahoma, but I do think LSU is a good ball club. They haven't shown it yet this year. So you start to wonder when, if at all, are they going to start to put it together. I think this is a very important weekend. It's going to be an antsy crowd there at Alex Box Stadium.
Ooh, could you imagine?
I think they take 2 or 3 this week.
Could you imagine
I think the Tigers win 2 or 3.
Oklahoma jumps out to like a 4-0 lead, and Cam Johnson kind of rolling through the LSU hitters? It's going to get real antsy there tonight.
Good.
If that situation unfolds. All right, Mizzou on the road at Tennessee. Missouri's better.
Tennessee.
Now, I'll take Tennessee. Missouri. Don't kid yourself. Missouri last year was bad. They were really bad, and it makes it even more.
Don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, like how does that sweep of A&M happen? This Missouri team, way better. They really played Auburn close last weekend. They got swept at home, but they were much, much more competitive. So I do think Tennessee wins the series. I don't think Tennessee sweeps Mizzou. I think the Tigers get one, but I'll take the Volunteers at home.
I got the Vols in all 3.
Yeah, I got the Vols as well. I also have Oklahoma going and taking 2 out of 3 on the road to LSU.
Arkansas at South Carolina. This should be the easiest one. South Carolina is woeful right now. They're bad.
They stink.
Dog water.
Arkansas sweeps.
And there is going to probably be, even though it's one of the longer trips in the SEC, I bet there's more Arkansas fans in that ballpark than South Carolina fans.
Where's their basketball team playing? Where did Arkansas basketball get sent? What side are they at?
Well, they were playing
Arkansas
Hawaii
basketball. It is. Why is this? Portland. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, they got put in the West region.
So, but that's the thing is, region doesn't determine which site you go to.
Listen, all I'm saying that is there's going to be more Arkansas fans in that place is because there was 24 people there in the midweek for South Carolina. It was embarrassingly bad. So I'll take the Hogs to sweep that one.
Who was playing the early session today in Oklahoma City? Because I don't think they're in the South region.
McNeese was in Oklahoma City.
Yeah. Oh, McNeese.
Yeah.
And which region are they in? "Quote unquote" region are they in?
We got 7 minutes to make these picks.
Anyways,
Arkansas, South Carolina.
Oh, Hogs. Come on.
Yeah, Hogs sweep. Easy.
Hogs.
Florida on the road at Alabama. Again, the Crimson Tide 0-3. Florida had that series loss to High Point, and then they bounced back and they sweep South Carolina in the opening weekend, and their rotation was incredible. Didn't allow a run over the first 18 innings. They sweep South Carolina. They go on the road to Bama. I'll take Florida. I'll always take Florida if they're playing well because the amount of talent that they have. Like, just bet on the Gators. Brendan Lawson's awesome. Liam Peterson's awesome. They got a really good team.
You said Florida, Alabama?
Yep.
I like Florida.
I like Florida too, but I think Alabama will get one. I think I think Justin LeBron will have a nice game this weekend. Gets him a game.
There was some rumor about him going into the portal last offseason. Could you imagine the dollar amount he could have gotten?
Oh, he could have gotten so much money.
Yeah.
Hand up, I was wrong. McNeese is in the South, so maybe the site does determine which region you're in. Oops.
Texas on the road at Auburn. This is a top 5. Texas number 2, Auburn number 5.
Party trick's over. Give me the Tigers.
Yeah, Auburn. I've watched quite a bit of Auburn. They don't impress me athletic. They're playing well, and Bub Terrell, some of the guys at the top of their order. They got the kid that hits 3-hole. He has like this crazy wild swing. He swings as hard as he can all the time. Blisters balls all over the field. I don't love the competition that Auburn's played. Now, they went on the road in the midweek and got a huge one, but how much stock do you put into midweek games? They beat up Georgia Tech. I like Texas. I think Texas has played a tougher schedule. I like Texas's staff. I think the Longhorns take 2 out of 3 on the road at Auburn, a place that has drastically improved their atmosphere, but not one of the tougher places to play in the league.
I agree, Brauny. I think they take 2 out of 3 as well. And I also think, to your point about the midweek, I think Texas got a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth after playing that bad against Tarleton, only 2 hits in the game. You'd think they're fired up to go to Auburn and get a couple. I mean, you got Riojas on Friday and then Volantis on Sunday, so...
And Luke Harrison, super veteran on Saturday.
Yep,
They're good,
yep.
man. Texas is good. And I'm going to say this about Tarleton. I like their program. They're in the WAC, and so they've got some really weird travel schedules, and I'm not saying they're going to win that league. They got good players. Like, their staff does a great job of evaling. Former A&M assistant Will Fox is there. Their head guy is a rock star. If you'll remember, was it 2024 when Sam Houston State came in that midweek, and it was slam-packed at Olson? And that was when Sam had Walker Yannick, and they were really good. And I think they had 3 draft picks on that roster. The guy that put that roster together, the recruiting coordinator at Sam at that time, is now the head coach at Tarleton. So he knows what he's doing and how to get players. And I was pumped. I like that guy a lot. He's a great dude, and I was pumped to see them have some success and win that game on the road. And also, not had anything to do with Texas, but just because I was happy for him. The final series, Vandy at Mississippi State. Vandy's weird.
Vandy is weird.
This is the weirdest Vandy team of Tim Corbin's tenure. They don't play elite defense. They don't have great.
Well.
Right. They don't have elite athletes on defense. They don't pitch super well. Connor Fennell's really good. They're Friday night guy, but they haven't pitched super great. But they hit. I think they're second in the league in homers.
They're second nationally in homers.
Yeah, you just don't see that of Tim Corbin team. But you talk about, we mentioned Auburn doing a great job with their upgrades, but it not being a tough place to play. Well, Duty Noble, really tough place to play. I'd give Mississippi State.
I'll deal with the dogs too.
All right,
The dogs.
Ace Reese.
Ace Reese, good player.
Real
Done.
good player.
He's an East Texan. He started his career at, anybody know? Played against the Aggies as a freshman at this school. And it's one of the programs in the state of Texas that I would like to study. How have they fallen this far? The University of Houston.
Oh, U of H. Okay.
Yeah, Ace Reese started at the University of Houston.
Fallen that far?
I watched their game a couple of nights ago against Louisiana Lafayette.
Got to see them when they were up in Arlington, same time as the Aggies.
When was that? This U of H?
Yeah, no. Oh, I thought you were talking about Mississippi State.
No, U of H.
No, I don't watch U of H.
Yeah. I was watching U of H the other night against Louisiana Lafayette, and every time I turn a U of H game on, there is nobody there. There were more Louisiana Lafayette, because Louisiana Lafayette, they care about baseball a lot. So they traveled to Houston. There were more Louisiana Lafayette fans there than U of H fans.
It's not a bad drive.
On a midweek.
3 hours?
But a midweek game on Tuesday, they drove over, and it's not like they had to bus people in to outnumber the U of H fans. But I watched that game man, how is this program, how are they not better? It's the 4th largest city in the country. You'd think they have a good talent base to recruit from. And I can remember U of H started the year in that Puerto Rico tournament, and they had some good wins. They beat Wake Forest, I think, to open the year. And then they came home after that, and they were receiving votes in the top 25 after that weekend, and they were playing UTRGV at home. And nobody in the ballpark. It's crazy to me that in a city that big that they can't generate that enough interest. At least you don't have to pack the place to the gills, but just put enough people in there where it's not just this
Seems
embarrassing.
like nobody cares about Houston athletics outside of basketball. Nobody cares.
Yeah, football is kind of hot and cold, right?
No one cares.
It's a weird thing, man. It's a real weird thing. And Rice, I think David Pierce has gotten them better, but they're nowhere near what they were under Wayne Graham. But that's a
Wayne
nice
DeLay,
ballpark.
May rest in peace.
That's a
Are you
nice
talking
ballpark.
about
And two schools in a baseball hotbed of travel baseball. The Houston, Texas produces more travel baseball teams than anywhere in the country, or they did 10 years ago. That's factual. It was the travel baseball capital of the United States, and 4th largest city in the country, a major league team there. They send players all over the country to go play because there's so many good players in the city. And those two schools have just been they've really struggled. It's kind of a head scratcher to me. All right. We are on I can't do the math right now, but we'll be back next Tuesday. Enjoy the basketball tonight, Aggies and St. Mary's Gales, and then across the street this weekend, Aggies and Georgia Bulldogs.
Wings or Habs tonight? Who do you have? Wings or Habs?
I thought you said wings or apps, and I was like, wings are apps.
Wings or both?
I would say wings. I'm probably going to eat some wings. I like grilled wings.
The wings. I need the wings, please.
All right. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back on the B Team, sponsored by Southwood
Valley Animal Hospital. Sorry.